Welcome back to Let's Talk. In the last video, we discussed how easy it is to get taken away by the thought stream when we try to silence our minds and be present to the moment right in front of us. I hope that you've been enjoying practicing. For this to make a difference, though, that practice will need to continue. So I'd like you to consider pausing this video in a moment and creating a visual management reminder for yourself. So this could be simply marking down in your calendar or leaving yourself a sticky note, perhaps on your desk or your mirror, anything to remind you to practice being present. Please be specific as much as you can in regard to when and where you'll practice. So I'll pause here for a moment to let you pause the video if needed for you to do this task. All right, so let's build on this concept by discussing the most prominent thing that we tend to focus on rather than being present, and that's the future. So whether it's our next task or how we're going to pay the bills or whether our loved one is going to get their life back together, the future has a powerful pull on us, taking us out of the present moment. So I'd encourage you to start taking note of how often you're getting pulled into the thought stream of the future. Typically, for most of us, this is a negative experience, a worry of some kind. And I'd argue that we actually do this so much, so unconsciously, that we really stop becoming aware of how often we do it, and certainly not aware that it may not be helpful or something that we could or should change. We just take it for granted. We think it's normal. But if we're honest, we'll see how much we do this, not just in times of stress, but also in our better times, times where we should be focused on the pleasure of the moment, not getting pulled out of it by the thought stream. So this is huge. This is a major reason why a lot of us just don't seem to experience as much pleasure as we'd like, and a part of why we sometimes need to turn to greater and greater stimuli to really experience pleasure. So we need something sometimes that so completely occupies our attention, like skiing down a mountain or riding a motorcycle, whatever it is. But each of our days isn't typically filled with all those opportunities. So the great news is we still can experience pleasure and peace out of far more moments in our day than we currently realize. What might have seemed like a relatively mundane experience, like eating your breakfast, when done mindfully, can give great pleasure and great peace. Furthermore, we can be present and use mindfulness to really increase the pleasure of those better experiences. The trick is to keep focusing on the pleasure of the moment and again not falling into the thought stream. Each of our minds has a different way of doing this. For illustration, let's say that you're enjoying a day on the beach on your vacation. Think back and notice how easily the thought stream can pull you out of those moments, get you thinking about either what you're going to do next, or maybe what's waiting for you back at your job. Even if we can avoid these things, sometimes even more cruelly, our minds start to notice just that the pleasure's happening and can create some distracting negative thoughts about that pleasure itself. It might say to you, wow, what a day. But then the thought stream takes you out of enjoying the moment. We start thinking other things like, wow, I wish my other vacations were this good, or man, if work wasn't so busy, I'd just get away more, and so on. It's just an example, but I hope you can see that it can be difficult for many of us to stay present and truly experience the full pleasure of the moment. Also, if you tend to be anxious, think about how much this process is going to feed into that anxiety. And honestly, in a moment of reflection, ask yourself, really, how much does worrying about the future really affect it? We tend to think that the answer is no, but we tend to act like the answer is yes. So today, I'd like you to start becoming aware of this. Notice when you get pulled into the thought stream of the future and refocus. Remember, they're only your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are simply you. You're a great being capable of being present, staying present, and enjoying each and every moment. With practice, you'll be able to find peace in most of those moments by being present and mindful, opening up our senses and our faculties. I hope you enjoy practicing this. In the next video, we'll discuss when the thought stream tries to drag us into the past. So be well, leave a comment, share this with a friend, and let's talk.